Hi, I'm Rachel Westbrooks. I am a licensed professional counselor, mental health service provider. I'm also a certified clinical trauma professional. And this right here is Cedar, and he is our therapy dog, and he does a really good job of providing snuggle therapy. I worked with a lot of men who had come out of Silverdale Detention Center who were just trying to sort of readjust to life, and oftentimes that meant managing their children. So I've had sort of the privilege of being able to work with both kids, adults, both with parents and the children, and so it's been a really nice way to sort of find a well-rounded understanding of the whole family. I think with the men that I serve, oftentimes one of the challenging things that you see is that they often don't feel that they have permission to get assistance with their mental health. It's this idea of I have to be strong, I have to be in charge, I have to pull myself up by my bootstraps, which is just the worst advice ever. And so I find they often don't give themselves to have, that permission to get help and to get their mental health taken care of. But also there's an idea that it's not mental health. It's sort of just the way they deal with things, or like it's just a man thing to be angry or aggressive or to be impulsive or make bad decisions, when in reality it's not. And most of the time what I've seen is with all of the men that I work with, that most of them are victims of trauma, and most of them have had severe trauma in childhood. And so when they start to kind of give themselves permission to deal with that and manage that, it makes so much impact on their daily life and their ability to manage all stress. And it really gives them a better outlook on the world and the community. I've encountered a lot of men and couples who were doing really well and had become successful in life because of that program. And then when they just had a bad patch in life, as we all do, we all have a rough time, we all have a time where things just kind of fall apart for a minute, they immediately knew who to reach out to. They immediately knew who to call at First Things First and part of these programs. They knew who to call to say, hey, I'm having a hard time, I need some help. And then they very quickly were told, hey, I know specifically somebody who could help you. And so that process has really been beneficial because the people at First Things First are able to automatically vet me. I mean, they were able to see my work, see what I do, and know if I'm a good match for the people they're sending me. And so then when the men come to me, they already have some confidence in me because they're like, hey, somebody I trust and somebody I know has already said that you're pretty good at what you do. And that makes a difference. And then I also know they've got some support and they've got somebody who's going to back up what they're doing in the room with me. And so that's such a valuable partnership for us to be able to really get them what they need and for it to actually be effective. I find that the men who've been through the domains of family practice to be ones who are more resourceful, who are more hopeful, and when they have a stressful situation happen, they're able to know that they have a support system. They already know. And I had one just sitting in this room a few weeks ago who said, I know who I can come to. I know who I can trust. I can trust you. I can trust so-and-so. I can trust so-and-so. Naming the people that have been part of this collaboration. And it makes them feel secure. It makes them feel like they can take off life's challenges because they know they've got some support there. I think for those of us who were lucky enough to grow up in a family where we had really supportive parents, we always knew if something went wrong, we could just call mom or dad. And that's really valuable. But there are a lot of people who don't have that. A lot of people who don't have that. And so you have to create a system where someone has more than one support system. Somebody has more than one person to call. You want to know that when you're having a bad day, you're not just relying on one person or no one, but you've got a team, you've got a village. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise an adult. You got to have people. You got to have people on your team, people in your court. And so this puts people on their team, and that makes a big difference.